It's maybe a touchy subject for some folks. Guys, welcome back into another video. It is I, your Lord and Savior, back with yet another reaction. Guys, we're going to react to a video that is going to be outside of the norm for me as far as the content that you see. But to be honest with you, I'm a reaction channel, so I do react to a lot of different content. So I'm just not in the space of just anime or movie trailers or game trailers or just trailers in general. I'm going to react to a lot of things too that are affecting real world issues. This particular video here caught my attention. This was posted by Playback, a group that does a lot of other reaction videos as well. But this particular subject that they're reacting to was very, very interesting, and I did want to see what their thoughts were because I know what my thoughts are, and I thought it would be kind of cool to share this. Guys, this video is pertaining to college and how it seems to be that college is this default setting that a lot of people are accustomed to doing as far as the society goes. Because if you think about it, what were we taught as children? We were taught that we would grow up, you would go to school, go to like elementary school, your middle school, your high school, then you would go off to college, get you a degree, get you a job. Once you get your job, you'll find your significant other, get married, get the kids, get the white picket fence, live happily ever after, and go on about your business. That's what you were told, right? That was the sequence that we were all given. That was pretty much the blueprint, if you will, that we were all given. But nowadays, that is not a viable option. And in my opinion, it has never really been a viable option when it came to just straight up education wise and just going about that anyway. So we're going to go into this and we're going to see what they have to say and we're going to see what points they make up. And then after that, we're just going to have a nice little discussion. You know what I'm saying? I don't see a problem with a discussion. Let's do it. Guys, well, before we get into that, y'all already know the deal. Guys, if you like the content that is being produced on this channel, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button as well as the subscribe button. Both of those things are free, doesn't cost you a dime, and they help out the channel tremendously, so I appreciate that. Last but not least, guys, go ahead and share the content as well as hit the notification bell so you guys are in the loop and up to date and aware on anything and everything that is being put out on this channel. So without motherfucking ado, let's get into it. All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get into it here. And the name of their video is basically, Is College Worth It in 2023? Let's find out what they got to say.
School has become such a default option that deciding to not do school, you have to have like an insane justification. You have to justify it to your friends, families, your fucking Twitter community group chat, your Discord servers you're involved in, and of course your fucking parents and your siblings. Like, you have to justify it to everybody. I can go to school for psychology. No one's gonna ask twice. Why? I feel like you should really explain to me what the fuck you're gonna do with that degree. No, deadass though. There's so many pointless degrees. Your art degree is not taking you nowhere.
It's just the fact that it's the default. It shouldn't be the default.
It is an option.
It should be an option.
You can't pass the bar to become a lawyer without post-secondary education.
That's another thing. I hate this part of the argument where a dumbass nigga be like, oh, well, what if he's a lawyer? Like, of course, the nigga...
Yeah, obviously, of course, if he's studying something that's specialized, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I can already tell where they're about to go with this, and where they're about to go is, which I 100% agree with. College, to me, honestly, is not a default option. I think, personally, when it comes to the whole college thing, it should be something that you want to do, but also, in turn, it should be something that's in relating to what you're trying to do, right? So, perfect example, as he said, let's use that. You know, art degree. If you're going to get something that's more specialized degree such as that, at least do work within that field that that degree is required in. Like, meaning if you're going to be like a curator or something to that degree, if you're going to be working in a museum of arts and fine arts and things of that nature, working with fine arts institutes, cool, fine, understandable. That works. But if you're just going to get an art degree, but you're going to go work as a manager at Chick-fil-A, what's the point? So it's one of those things to where if you're going to get a degree, that degree needs to be specialized in the field that you are pursuing. Don't just go to college just because you think that you're supposed to go to college. That's the point they're pretty much trying to get at. Because when you find is that you're going to college and you're going to school, that's cool and all. But in reality, a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people that I know personally, got a degree, went to college for 4 years, and is now working in a lower paying job and not even using the degree that they went to school for. So it's one of those things to where you kind of got to weigh the pros and cons with that. And what they're saying is don't just automatically think you're supposed to go to school or go to college right out of high school because you think that's the way and that's the only option you have. So I don't think that.
Niggas who are lawyers and doctors, of course. We're not talking about them niggas though, bro.
You have an art degree, buddy.
Yeah,
you're not even
yeah,
that.
the nigga who has an art degree, the niggas going for film,
Business
the niggas going to
administration.
business. Those niggas, y'all really do some dig deep and dog, do some soul searching.
I took
And
an
ask yourself,
entrepreneurship-
what are you doing, nigga?
I took an entrepreneurship class in my 3rd year, and I had to sit there and really think to myself, what the fuck? Why is this institution teaching me how to work on my own? That's definitely something you learn by working on your own. It was mind-blowing.
That's true.
Like, I was being taught a curriculum on how to work by myself and how to build shit by myself, and it wasn't even useful lessons.
That's
And
the other thing I couldn't stay in college, bro. I was in college, I ain't graduating. I knew for a fact 85% of this shit I'm being taught will never use for the rest of my life, bro.
But that's any school, honestly. Like, to be honest with you, that's even high school. Like, who is honestly at this point in time using algebraic equations in their everyday life? I'll wait. What average motherfucker is actually using the square root of pi and all of this stuff in their everyday actual life? Who's using fractions and shit? Nobody. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's dividing the numerator by the denominator. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. But these are things that we are taught in school. That's why me personally, when it came to this whole school thing, I've always been one to say that school needs to be more directed in things that you're going to need in life. I don't know what the curriculum they are learning now, but I can tell you right now, it's probably some bullshit. Because the majority of the stuff that you're taught in school is bullshit. I don't need to know all that. I think personally, you just need to know your basic skills, basic reading, basic math. You need to learn life skills. You need to learn how, finances work. You need to learn how, if you want to learn something in regards to more advancement of like stocks and dividends and things like that, sure, that might be something that they could probably teach like a very, very basic beginning of that, but they should teach you about savings, teach you about bank accounts, teach you about goddamn credit. Those things need to be taught in school because those are the things you're going to need outside of school. They should teach you things about real estate, how to purchase your first house, things you may need to get that type of stuff, how to do loans and different stuff like that, what maybe they're looking for. So it's one of those things like we need to be a little bit more broader in our expectations in terms of education. It needs to be more laid out. It needs to be more centered around life skills, things that I'm going to need and use throughout my fucking life. I don't need to know about all these other square roots and things of that nature. I don't need to do that unless I'm specializing in something. The only time I need to know about algebraic equations and advanced mathematics and things of that nature, like calculus and stuff like that, is if I'm going to be working or have aspirations to work in a field that requires that, such as an architect or something to that degree, somebody who's going to be an engineer. Things like that, yes, I agree with. But if you're just planning on actually just trying to find your way through life and just wanting to understand the basic route that life takes you, you don't need to know that.
Bro, not never a day in my life, nigga. I ain't never used a Pythagorean theorem, nigga.
You don't know the 4 P's of marketing?
I don't give a fuck about that, man.
See?
Man, you gotta
That's
know
why you hire an accountant for that shit,
You don't
nigga.
know the 4 P's of pricing?
Oh, who gives a fuck,
come on,
bro?
man. Come on, how you gonna price your products?
Everything about science that I learned, nothing. I don't even know what the periodic table is pointless in my life right now, bro. I'm telling you right now.
Instead of most people thinking to themselves like,
True.
maybe I can learn a trade that can't be replicated.
That's true. Periodic table, dealing with elements. What do I need to know about the elements for? I'm not going to be a chemistry teacher. I'm not going to have a chemistry major. I'm not working in a field that requires advanced chemistry. That's the point. You shouldn't have to know these things in school when you're growing up in terms of elementary, middle to high. Those things need to be more so weaning you into the life of adulthood, not things like that.
Replicated. Like, maybe I could be a plumber. You know, a whole bunch of dumb niggas being writers. OpenAI is already gonna take your job in 5 years because you don't know how to look ahead. But now you're fucking 100K in debt and you're fucking voting for Biden on the 5% chance he actually does what he said he was gonna do and helps you out with your student loans. Nigga's not gonna do it. He doesn't give a fuck. He just got your vote. I feel like the fact that we're sitting here asking for politicians to bail us out of these incredible student loan debts, and it's a whole bunch of niggas that didn't even use their degrees, is an issue. But for some reason, it's still the default. How is it still the default even though it's not working for most people? And you know who the lucky people are?
Who that?
The ones that went to school not knowing what they wanted to do and in one semester and 1 year dropped out. And that's actually half of people, bro. My program got cut in half in the second year. First half either dropped out or failed. They couldn't make it. Boom, they was out of there. But those people actually were lucky in that, like, if it's a horrible thing to find out 3.5 years in, 50K in debt, and that this is not what you want to do. And I know a lot of people that in their second year and third year, they transitioned to gen ed and just took a whole bunch of the generic courses until they could figure out they wanted 6 years into school. And it's like, yo, you were wasting time, you were wasting bread, and like, more importantly,
valuable resources being
and
wasted.
I feel like the only excuse, I always say this, the only reasoning to going to school and not knowing what you want out of it is if you either have scholarships that pay for the whole thing,
right,
or your parents is rich as fuck.
Or you genuinely just don't know what you want to do in life.
No, if you don't know, figure it out before you go to school.
I say
you don't have to rush to go to school. You could take a year, 2 years.
Oh yeah, you take a year off. Yeah.
Yes, you don't have to rush.
Yeah.
This is serious. This is me being serious now. No more trolls. My problem with school, like Agent said, it shouldn't be the default. It shouldn't be the default option. The other problem I have with schooling in general is that how quickly so many things are changing in our life right now, where a lot of that shit y'all learning will be irrelevant a few years after you graduate, bro. I can and I'm gonna date myself here for a second, but when I was in school, and I was like growing up in school, like when I was like a young, like a teeny bopper in elementary school, right? But we were getting taught like how to use floppy disks.
Yo, they taught us abacus and cursive. I
All that stuff.
Fuck, what I gotta do with cursive?
And then you'll find
cursive. I agree with cursive because cursive just shows professionalism, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I still write in cursive. My signature is in cursive. Like if they ask for my signature, I'm not writing in print. Like I'm writing in cursive on my signature. But yeah, he's right. A lot of things that you are learning currently could be dated or outdated within the next couple of years. So it is quite possible, for sure.
Find out, bro. I was being taught how to use a floppy disk, then that became irrelevant. Then I got taught how to burn on CDs, and that became irrelevant.
Taught you that?
Then we was running around. That was like on our computer labs. Like that would be a part of like how to actually like burn
that's
information.
Not that crazy. That's technology.
No, but then listen, but then it became thumb drives. So everybody's fucking walking around with the necklace with the thumb drive attached to that shit. True. And then like not too long after that became irrelevant because everybody just uploads thing on the on Google Drive and stuff like. So then it's like all that information you just got taught is now irrelevant now, and the same thing is happening right now while we're actively doing it right now. Like you just said, like AI, bro, a lot of stuff y'all doing and saying and learning, bro, it might be irrelevant within like 5 or 7 years of you all in your career, bro.
You didn't hear? Like the OpenAI software is currently making books and they're selling them on Amazon,
bro. Is this information that I'm receiving, is it not accessible in any other platform, more or less for free? Because when y'all be going there for film or people going there for the arts or y'all going
cinematography, like
all that stuff is readily available online, if not for free, but for a noticeably cheaper price than what you're getting.
Sure.
But just in college.
I mean, he's absolutely right. Like, even when it comes to the whole cinematography thing and just learning how to edit videos, like what I'm doing. I learned how to edit videos, honestly, by going to YouTube. It's one of those things to where it's like you have the information already there. You know, you could get really, really goddamn good to where you're editing videos to the depth of motherfucking movie type shit. You know what I'm saying? Where you basically can create your own movie. I mean, people are making movies, literal movies on their fucking phone. So if you want to go in and get like a cinematography degree and things of that nature, majority of the time you don't really have to do that unless, again, it's something that requires that and the place that you're trying to work at requires that. But for the most part, you can get that experience, as I said, by going on the internet, or doing it yourself. You can get that experience yourself.
So, like, why would you, like, spending that type of money is crazy, but this is the thing that really bothers me. This really bothers me because people always talk about how, like, oh, people drop out and then they have no other option and they look stupid. Look at the data and the information. And to be fair, the data and the info does lean heavily into if you go to college, you finish with a degree, you're much more likely to make more money, especially because a lot of companies, they look to see if you have a degree or not. But I always tell people this, bro. If you gave...
The data that he's probably referencing has to be skewed, and I'm going to tell you why it's skewed, because it's coming from me in regards to somebody who has the experience there. When I'm telling you that I have the experience there, that means I've hired people and I've terminated people. I've interviewed people, I've done it all. So I've done that whole shtick, right? So let me tell you something in regards to the word around hiring managers and how we operate. When it comes to that, we don't really give a fuck about your degree. And I'm telling you that right now. Any competent hiring manager is literally going to hire somebody based off of experience. Not because you got a degree, it's based off of experience. It doesn't matter if you went to a 4-year college. And when it comes to like a specialized thing that they may be trying to hire you for, sure, your degree will play a factor in that role. However, for the most part, most hiring managers are going to hire purely based off of experience. Because I would hire a person who has 4 years experience of what I'm looking for over somebody who has 4 years of a college degree. I don't really care about your degree. I care about the experience because I know that this person will at least already know what's going on and their track record speaks for themselves. Now, there is the issue that comes up that a lot of hiring managers can agree with is that the person who has the experience over the degree, you kind of can play into the fact that this person who has the experience is probably already setting their wage too. So when it comes to the training of what you need them to do and the certain different mechanics that may be required of their job, you might get a little pushback from that person just based on the fact that they already have this experience. Depending on their personality and who they are, they might try to give you a little pushback because they may think they know better just based on said experience. Whereas the person who has the degree is a little bit more malleable. You can kind of mold them into what you kind of need because this would be their first experience. So that anything that you're teaching them, they will be more aggressive when it comes to the learning because they'll be really taking in all their information because it's new to them. All they do have is you. You're their first real experience, opposed to the person who has the 4-year experience and has worked for multiple different companies. They'll probably be a little bit more pushbackish for the most part because they may think they know better or the way that they did it in this place or that place was a little bit more comfortable, right? There is that part there. However, I would still go with the experienced guy over the person who has the degree.
The average person, like $50,000 to invest in themselves or $80,000 to invest in themselves, and it gave them 4 to 5 years to actually research and learn.
As hard as the school makes them hurt.
Yes, and work them as hard as they're about to work in college. If you gave somebody who want to be a content creator and is genuinely passionate about being a content creator, and you gave them an $80,000 loan for within a 4-year time, and they spent the same amount of time that they're about to spend on college on trying to figure out content creation, bro, majority of those people would be able to figure it out, especially if they're truly passionate about it. So this idea that people fail because they don't go to college, a lot of the reason why is because niggas are not just handing out loans for them to figure out how life works, but they're handing out loans for you to just go to college. That's what's really happening. So you're not even giving these people the same resources that you're giving the ones who are going to college. But you can go to college if you understand what you're doing. If you understand what you're doing, if you really want to commit to it, then without a doubt, this idea that like there's these generation after generation after generation, we have to convince 18-year-olds, 18, to sign over a massive amount of loans that will amount to hundreds of thousands of dollars by the time they get out of school and trying to pay back the interest? Man, get the hell out of here, bro.
Yeah.
You can't default on it.
Can't default on it, bro. None of that.
That's insane. Here's the part that got me fucked up. The biggest hoax in all of this. So when I tell people what I'm saying right now, the first thing they say is, well, you're a content creator. Not everyone can be a content creator. And then I think like, well, you must think I'm dumb. Like, I've been in school for 3 years. I enjoyed my program, and my program was going to put me in the position I wanted to be in. This YouTube shit just worked out, so this is the direction I went in. But had it not worked out, I was still moving in the direction I wanted to go in, and my degree was going to help me get there. So it made sense for me, even though I was $30K in debt once I dropped out after 3 years, and that shit fucking hurt to pay off. So the first thing people say is, oh, you're a content creator. Yo, bro, when we was in uni, every week they had someone from the industry coming in. Every week they would ask the same questions, and every week the people from the industry would tell me over and over and over again, we don't value degrees nearly as much as we value experience. To the point where
I just said it. I'm telling y'all, this is the mindset of people who are looking to bring people on board to a company. For the most part, majority of the people are not looking for degrees. They're not looking for people who've been to a 4, 8 year, whatever college. Unless, again, we're talking about a specialty type of thing, like a doctor, a lawyer, something like that, sure. But when it comes to just more so subtle jobs, you don't need an art degree. You don't need a psychology degree and things of that nature. Are you going to be a psychiatrist? If you're not going to be a psychiatrist, then what are you getting a psychology degree for? Like, you're just getting it just to say I have a degree. So that's the problem, man. That's what they're trying to get at. But as I said, and he just reiterated, a lot of people in these industries, whoever is looking to bring anybody on board, we don't care about that stuff. We don't care about your degree. We care more about the experience, because we'll take the risk on the person who has the experience, because at least I won't have to go and show them as much. At least I know that they know what I'm talking about and what I'm referencing. Whereas the person with the degree, yeah, they may be more malleable, as I've said before, but I would have to probably show them a lot more. I would have to take more time with them. And that may be time that I just don't particularly have.
I started thinking like, yo, why am I not taking these niggas' advice? So then I began to just get hella experience. I got internships in the summertime. I was volunteering at every fucking school event. I was just trying to rack up experience because everyone's telling me experience is how you do it. But I had this stacked up fucking resume by the end of it. And now that I hire people, I also agree I could not give less a fuck what degree you have. Facts. So I heard it from the people that were hiring back when I was and now that I hire people, I don't care about your degree. That's not gonna be the same for every job, but for a lot of jobs, your degree's a lot less relevant than your experiences. I could care less if you fucking graduated with some cinematography degree. What's your experience on Adobe Premiere, man? Like, what's your experience producing anything or directing anything or being a part of some team? Like, yo, you have to have actual skills that's gonna be useful, and school doesn't provide you with those. And then the second thing people tell me, Marcel, is that you need a backup plan. And it's gonna be a long day before you can convince me that.
But they don't have a backup plan
it's not a backup plan to have a degree you're not gonna use.
Facts.
And put yourself in debt you can't default from. That is a fucking destructive, goddamn horrible plan B. If that's your plan B, you're basically burning the ships. You're hoping plan A fucking works. That is a god awful fucking plan, man. I'm telling you, if you know where you want to go and school's gonna get you there, go. Until you figure it out, chill. There is no rush, but the reality is, dumb niggas sit there and push you. You see all your friends going to college because all their parents, I swear, it's like your whole life you're trained to believe this is the next step. It's not. There's many steps you can take. That's one of them. Treat it as an option, not the default, bro. And I hate when people argue with me on this because it's not even like I'm saying school is useless. I think
it's not even an argument to have, but it is the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation backs up that there are so many people in debt as it is. We're already having this talk about the government trying to cancel student loan debt. Why is that? The reason that is because so many people have went to college, wasted away their time in college, got degrees, meaningless degrees that they're not even using, but they have to pay back hundreds of thousands of dollars because they went to school for a certain amount of time. And they're not even working in the field that they got the degree in. So this is literally a big subject. So you can't really argue with him about that because the facts point to what we're saying is true. You're going to school, you're wasting away, especially if you don't know what you want to do. All they're saying is if you know what you want to do and you know that your job specializes with a particular degree, sure, go for it. Go ahead and go to school, go to college, do your thing. If that's what your job that you want in the future dictates, do it. However, if your job does not really dictate that, or if, like you said, you're on the fence and you kind of don't even really know what you want to do, chill out. Learn what you want to do. Figure out what you love. Figure out what you're passionate about. And then take that path. But don't just jump to the conclusion of I'm going to go to school and then you're wasting away those years and using all that loan money and getting these meaningless degrees that you have. And then next thing you know, you're hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt wondering why oh me? You know, why oh why? Can we please pay this back? Can I please pay this stuff back? There's no point.
I think the schools that are scams are like the Division I schools that be charging you like $50,000.
And
like,
it's the same course.
It's crazy.
Bro, I'll never get over how people
Same
sit
thing.
there and celebrate the black colleges and they charge the average student $50K a year. By the way, a year. I just can't get over it. That's fucking.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. The average annual net cost to attend the 4-year private Atlanta school is $43,000. It's basically $50K a year. That's annual. Only one other school, Howard University, 4-year private school in Washington, D.C., has a net cost above $40K. $40K a year. $40,000 a year. And imagine going to school for 4 years. You're going to school for 4 years. That's $160,000 that you have to pay. $160K that you have to pay.
Fucking highway robbery to the exact people who, by the way, are disadvantaged by the infrastructure they're claiming that they're gonna help.
And if we really gonna get into it, then who knows what they do with that money? Because it certainly
They just
ain't
buy
going.
more facilities.
But it ain't really even going back to the school because there's been several reports.
Endowments?
Oh man,
You heard about those?
Oh, man.
Yo, these colleges got
Oh, man.
endowments like to the billions.
y'all paying all that money, and then you look at all the other resources that you have on the campus. Fucking the gyms are still looking disgusting and nasty. The bathrooms are terrible. The dorm rooms barely got AC in them.
Look at this. Look at this. Yale's endowment totals $41.4 billion.
That's
tell 'em what endowment is.
crazy.
Oh, an endowment is basically a huge pot of money that they.
There you go. He's about to explain it, but I'm going to read it. What is an endowment? Endowment is an aggregation of assets invested by a college or university to support its education and research mission in perpetuity. It represents a compact between a donor and an institution and links past, current, and future generations. So it's just a big pot of money, as he's about to say.
They invest to become more money. It's basically just a pot of money that's being used to make more money. You would think they would use the money to improve the schooling infrastructure and things of that nature, but no, they just keep this money and hoard it and make more of it. When people say it's a scam, it's because it's overpriced. In all reality, you can go to community colleges and get an education with way lower risk.
But see,
With
that's the real
You can.
problem is that once more, even when it comes to college, y'all don't even really present all the options. Y'all not even presenting the fact that, hey, for your first 2 years, you can go to community college. Niggas laugh at that as if like it's a problem. No, like,
Yeah, because again, people laugh at that because of the fact that society has made community college a joke. We've been shown all these different movies and different media that one is supposed to go to these high-end 4-year colleges like a Yale or Harvard or things like that. That's what we've been shown. So that's why when somebody says, "Oh, I went to a community college," they're like, "Oh, community college." So it was always been this running gag and this running joke that if you go to community college, you're less than. So what people think, since people care so much about what people think of them, they're not going to go that route. Me personally, again, this is one speaking. I've never been to college because I already knew from the get-go what this was and what this was about. I never wanted to do that and get in that type of debt. But if I had have gone to college, I would have went to a community college. I mean, you look at these stats here. That's a community college right there. That's the average in-state community college tuitions. $4K, $3K, $1K in California. You know what I mean? Like, what's the problem with that?
like you can literally save a boatload of money.
A fuck ton.
Community college, and you're getting the same 2 years. It's the same 2-year information you're getting from one school to the next.
Yep.
In most community colleges nowadays, you can just transfer your credits to a 4-year institution. That's not even really an option to you. So now you're going to a 4-year school. You're spending twice as much money for the same accreditation from the community college.
Yep.
So all, like, again, the problem that I and many other people, it sound like Adrian as well, it's not that college is a scam. It's the fact that it's being presented as if like it's the only option, and if you don't do it, you'll fail in life. But the reality is that, bro, there's so many more variables that come into like you succeeding in life. You're gonna have to still work hard. You're still gonna have to position yourself to make sure you can meet the right people. You're still gonna have to extend yourself excessively.
True.
And if most people did that to the degree in other aspects or other paths in which they are trying, endeavors they're trying to get into, such as content creation or just such as you trying to get a trade, you would be just as successful, bro. But I'm just trying to give you a warning coming from somebody who went to school and didn't, like, I was not a person who was really good at school. I graduated late from high school. When I went to college, I just knew instantly it wasn't it for me. And I was just doing it just because that's what you're just told to do. And realistically speaking, looking at the other options that were available, I mean, damn, like, especially if you're not doing something you're not passionate about, you're just trying to maximize what you're trying to do, bro. You can be a manager at a retail store and earn $50,000 to $60,000. So I'm gonna sit here and you'll definitely favor experience more than you getting a degree. So like, why am I gonna sit here and rush to get a degree when there's an option for me to earn 50 to 60K on a year-to-year basis, which is the average earning person? Like, why would I do that? Just be cautious, bro. Be cautious.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely
way more cautious, bro. Especially because some of the things y'all going to school for it's about to be irrelevant.
Nah, ASAP. Too.
Like ASAP, like dead ass. You gonna go into school, apply for it. By the time you graduate, that shit might be irrelevant, nigga. Like dead ass, it might be irrelevant. The whole landscape of what you're trying to learn will just like that's gonna change, bro. So, yo, if you need it, you need it. If you don't, really stop.
That's great.
About it before you make that type of commitment. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And until next time, we'll see you all later. Peace.
I mean, that was good. That was good. I mean, I realistically don't really have much more to say on that. But he's absolutely right on that. You can go and get a retail job making as a manager anywhere from, $45,000 to $65,000 a year. Like I said, that's the average income anyway. That's what the average person is usually making. So you can do that. Because the reason I know you can do that because that's what I did. I just worked all those times. I worked all those years. I became a manager, man, when I was like 19 years old. So I was already had that type of experience. And once you become a manager, they can never take that away from you. That's going to be on your resume forever. There is nothing they can do to take that away from you. So you can always chalk that up. And you can always use that to gain leverage of getting extra jobs. I did a lot of job hopping though. But it wasn't because of me getting fired or getting let go or that I didn't do a good job. It was because I could use that as leverage. You work at a job for about a couple years or so, maybe 3 years, and then you go ahead and move up. If you don't see that there's nothing for you at that particular company, you can use that as leverage to go to another company. You can say, hey, currently right now I'm making 45 here. At this company, I want to make about 55 because they're going to ask you. And you can tell them, and then you can use your accreditation. You can use your experience as that leverage. They can say, okay, this person is worth 55. This person is worth 75. This person is worth 80K a year. And those different things can happen for you over time, especially if you're putting in the work for it. But I didn't have to go to college to do that. I didn't have to go to school to do that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree 100% with what they're saying. College should not be the default. You shouldn't be told that, hey, you got to go to college after you get done with high school. Like, you have to go to college. Some people may want to go. Sure, I agree. If it's something that you want to do, you found out it's something you want to do, something you're passionate about, but requires a degree, okay, and it's a specialty degree, cool, go for it. Do your thing. But if you don't know what you're going to do, as they said, take some time off, learn what you're passionate about, learn what you love, and then do that. But don't just immediately jump to college and out of high school because all your friends are doing it or you think that's the norm, and then you're floating around college learning meaningless things that you're never going to use throughout your life. It's pointless. It's a waste. that's going to be the video. That's going to do it for me. I thought that was an interesting conversation. Again, being as someone who hasn't gone to college, but I know that they have based off of what they said, it's very interesting to know what people's thoughts are regarding that, because we do kind of get those pushbacks of folks saying that you should go to college, but then you got a lot of people that are on my side as well saying that yes, go to college if you know what you want to do, and that what you want to do requires a specialty degree, sure, but don't make that the default. Don't make that something that you just have to go do just because everybody else is doing it. So again, with that being said, guys, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know if you went to college. Let me know if you see college as a waste of time. Or let me know if college is the end-all, be-all, and that's what you all should do. Let me know. I'm interested. But, guys, we're going to go ahead and end it here. As I said, I want you guys to enjoy your goddamn day. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.